Hi children, how are you? Are you all fine? I hope you all are fine and well. Okay, so let's start geography chapter number 2, the globe, latitude and longitude. Geography chapter number 2, the globe, latitudes and longitudes. Today we are going to learn. So before this, we already learned about that what is star, sun, comets, meteoroids, asteroids, galaxies, and the formation of star. Then many things about the solar system we learn. And now today we learn about this globe, latitudes and longitudes. Okay, children. Then the shape and size. The shape and size of Earth is like an orange shape. It is tilt. It is tilt on its axis. So we have a model of globe. I am showing you that is the model of globe. We can see it is little bit tilt on its axis. And now we will see about that. The shape and size of that Earth is like an spherical shape and it is like an orange shape. The shape of the Earth is exactly not like orange, but it's like orange shape. The term that used for that is that geoid for the Earth, and it is called Earth shape. Then the circumference of the Earth, we can measure its equator is that is 24,902 miles, and the radius is about 3,959 miles is the radius of the Earth. So now we'll learn about globe. A globe is a small model. A globe, you can see this. The globe is a small model of Earth. It is called globe. We can see there are some lines are there, vertical lines, horizontal lines, vertical lines are present on this globe. You can see some like a square shaped pattern, some horizontal and vertical lines that framing, some patterns are there. You can see some many countries are there, oceans, that all things are given here. Here equator is there, then you can see Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. Then you can see this globe model here. You can see many countries. The middle line is called equator. So we'll see about that shape of size. And now the globe is very important to learn about the Earth. And we can see the lines passing from that Earth. They are called that longitudes, latitudes, and equator is there. So that we'll see now. The components of the grid system. The text patterns are there, that lines, horizontal and vertical lines framing pattern, that is called grid. So we'll see now the components of the grid system. So let's see the components of the grid system. So first of all, we'll learn about axis. The axis of the Earth. It is an imaginary line in the middle of the Earth. It is called axis. It has two ends, north poles and south poles. We can see here in this model. This is axis. This is called that imaginary line. We can see it is passing from the down. That is called axis. This is called that north pole. This is called south poles. So north pole and south poles are the two poles of the Earth. That is axis. And the Earth is moving around its axis like this direction. The Earth is moving on its axis. So the part coming on in front of the sun, it has day, and the part hiding behind the sun, that is called that place, night will be there. The Earth moving around its axis and it is taking 24 hours. It moving and it takes 24 hours to complete one exact revolution. And it is moving around the sun also. It is moving around the sun and it takes 1 year to complete one revolution around the sun. And now we'll see about Earth. The components of grid system axis. So So that imaginary line passing from there, that is called axis, and it has two poles, north pole and south pole. Second thing is equator. Equator is another line. That equator is that another line. This line is called equator. It divides the earth into two equal parts. The equator line, you can see this line is called equator lines. The equator lines divides the earth into two parts. First is there that, and second part is there. First up part, northern part and southern part. That two parts are divided. The earth is dividing in two parts. That upper part and the down part. That both are called hemispheres. The equator is the middle line. It is also one imaginary line passing through the earth, and it divides the earth into two equal parts. Then we can learn about now latitudes. Latitudes are the imaginary horizontal lines passing through the globe and in earth that are called horizontal lines. These all horizontal lines are parallel to each other, and they are called latitudes. Longitudes. Here, this you can see the lines passing this all around. That is called latitudes. And longitudes are the line starting from the north pole and ends at the south pole. There are many lines that you can see in globe. On this model of globe, you can see many lines. These are longitudes. This we can say longitudes. The line is moving like this direction with a parallel to equator. These all lines are called latitudes, and the line starting from north pole and end at the south pole, they are called longitudes. So latitudes and longitudes are clear now. Now these all latitude lines are parallel to equator. Latitudes and parallel of a, see now that lines of latitudes. The lines, you can see that there are many lines in the globe that frame the pattern like checks, and each checks there are 19 parallels in both the part, that upper part and down part. That upper part is called northern hemisphere and down part is called southern hemisphere. As I showed you, the line equator, it divides the earth. It divides, we can see the earth. The equator divides the earth into two parts. That first up part north side, that is northern hemisphere. Down part is there, that is southern hemisphere. So now we'll see about earth, that there are 19 parallels are there in all that both the parts. We can understand the place, temperature, measurement, degrees and everything by this latitudes and of line. Then we can see the equator is starting point, that is 0 degree, and then it rapidly increase. The equator starting point is 0 degree, and here you can see in globe that degrees are given. Here you can see the equator is there, the 0 degree, then 10 degree, 20 degree, it is increasing, and that the same way downside it is increasing. So angles are there at equator it is 0 degree, and then it is increasing. Okay. Next is there lines of latitude of parallel. Some lines are there, you can see in the globe that framing the checks pattern. They are called longitudes and latitudes. And each line, it contains the lines between that latitudes and longitudes. It contains the distance of 111 kilometers. It contains the distance of 111 kilometers. Some important parallels of that latitudes are there. That apart from North Pole and South Pole, some important parallels are there that we will discuss. The equator is there that measured 0 degree Celsius, and that great circle, it is called the greatest circle. We'll see that equator is called the greatest circle of the globe. It has greatest circle. These other circles are smaller, but equator is the greatest circle, and its circumference is given 24,902 miles, and the radius from the center of Earth is 3,959 miles. So the Great Wall we can say, and it divides the whole Earth into two parts, as I shown you, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer is there, that is 23.5 degree northern, and that Tropic of Capricorn is there, 23.5 degree Celsius in south side. So that is here given same. Tropic of Cancer here, Tropic of Capricorn here. It divides that Earth. The equator divides the Earth in two parts. The upper part is there, that is Tropic of Cancer. It is coming at 23.5 degree Celsius north, and that south side, that is Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree Celsius is given. Now we'll see Arctic Circle. The Arctic Circle is there, that is 66.5 degrees Celsius, and Antarctic Circle, that is 66.66 half degrees Celsius is given south side. So these circles are there. It takes 24 hours to complete one revolution. Heat zones of the world. We can see the heat zones of the worlds. That first is that the torrid zone. You can see that three zones are there: torrid zone, temperate zone, and frigid zone. All the parts of the world, we can see, they did not receive same amount of sun rays and heat at the time, because the sun rays are falling on the earth, and the earth is little bit tilt its axis. So some part of the earth get less amount of sun rays, and some part of the earth get more amount of sun rays. You can see, if this globe is there, this earth is there, if sun rays fall from this direction directly here, so this part equator getting direct rays, and that's why it is very hottest. But the part is here and here, that is Antarctic, and here Arctic Circle and Antarctic, that getting less sun rays, so they have that less heat, and they are getting slanting sun rays, so heat is not more there, and they have low temperature. So the places on the earth, they did not get even same amount of sunlight at a time. Some polar regions are there, that call, we can say, some polar regions, that are the polar regions are there, there is no more globe. We can see here this globe on this. If we see that north poles and south poles both are extreme properly, and we can see that north pole and south pole is given here in this globe. Okay, the all parts of the earth, they did not receive the same amount of that heat at the same time. So now we'll see about the heat zones of the world. That the places near the equator, they receive direct sun rays, so they have hot temperature, and the places which receives that less sun rays, which are near the Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle, they have low temperature, because they are getting slanting sun rays. So as I tell you, on the basis of distance from the equator, the whole earth is divided into three parts, that torrid zone, temperate zone, and frigid zones. Torrid zones means extremely hot zones, because in torrid zone it is very near the equator, and the sun rays are there. It is between Tropic of Capricorn and Tropic of Cancer. So torrid zone lies between that, and there the sun rays are falling directly. That's why heat is more than places are there. Most of the Indian places are in equator, so they all are hot, and they don't have humid and hot atmosphere. Temperate zone. Temperate zones are there. Temperate zones, they have just slow atmosphere, and temperate zones are there. They have less amount of sun rays, and that's why we can see it is given that sun rays are falling very slanting on this. So temperate zones are there. They are not more hot and not more cold. It is humid temperature, and you know that there are places of Europe and North America, and then another places are there. They are coming under this category. It is lies between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of North side, and the Arctic Circle in North side, and and Antarctic Circle in the south side. So these all places are there. They are getting less amount of that heat. It lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle, and the Antarctic Circle is there. That sun rays are getting less. Next is there Europe and North American countries are related to this. Frigid zones. Frigid zones are the given that are very cold and freezing throughout the whole year. It is covered with snow because a lot of snow falling here. It is the frigid zones are very near to the that North Pole and South Pole. Between that zones are the given Arctic Circle and that North Pole and Antarctic Circle in the South Pole. So these are there that did not get more sun rays. That's why the Antarctic Circle and the Arctic Circle, they are less amount of heat. We can say did not get more heat. So throughout the whole year, it covered with the snow only, and we'll see that the importance of that latitudes. So by the latitudes, we can understand very easily the place temperature, that location. It's we can see the place heat, its atmosphere, and how much difference is there between that place. We can read about the temperatures, climate, and everything we can learn by the importance of that latitudes. By latitudes, we can divide the whole places in different categories. Zones are there. How much heat receiving? So heat zones, and then it gives that. As you know that some places are near equator, they have more heat because of direct sun rays, and some places are there, they have cold because they are getting slanting sun rays throughout the year. In temperate zone, it is there is not hot, not more hot, and there is no more heat is there. It is coldest, and you will learn about that tropics and these all things. So that three zones are there: torrid, temperate, and frigid zone. I hope you understand well. Okay, thank you children. Bye.